Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
New information tonight out of Bemidji. Investigators have identified the remains of the two people found 7 days ago, and a suspect is now in jail. 44-year-old Darren Stevie of Bemidji was arrested on February 7th for violations related to his probation. Now Stevie is expected to be arraigned on charges related to causing the deaths of 39-year-old Adam Thorpe of Maple Grove and 41-year-old Jason McDonough from Superior, Wisconsin. The remains of Thorpe and McDonough were found in a fire pit in the 6500 block of Highway 89 in Eccles Township. That's northwest of Bemidji. No other information can be released at this time until formal charges are filed by the Beltrami County Attorney's Office. We are expecting to get back to the cold temperatures tonight, and now there's a little bit more to worry about. Hutch joins us to talk about the snow and wind headed our way. Hutch?
That is right. We have quiet conditions here as we head into the evening hours in the FM area and Grand Forks as well. And for the most part, that will continue through the better part of our evening. But that's not the case for everywhere. Some snow developing from Minot up towards Winnipeg, and the Devil's Lake Basin seeing some snow develop as well. This is going to continue to trend eastward tonight and into the morning. A winter weather advisory for the Red River Valley beginning at 3 a.m. and lasting through the day tomorrow, as we'll have a combination of some light snow along with gusty winds, reducing visibilities and creating more slippery conditions up and down the valley. Your hour-by-hour forecast for this evening shows the best chance of snow will be along the international border and along and north of Highway 200 as we go through the overnight hours. The good news is nothing too bone-chilling, but that wind, which increases as we go towards daybreak, will be with us for the better part of the day. We'll have details on that, and we'll talk about that Arctic air mass we've been watching, Andrea, as it's been kind of a tiresome story of late. Fill you in on the details of what we expect later here in a minute.
All right, can't wait for that. Thank you, Hutch.
You bet.
And make sure you can get the forecast when you need it with the latest version of the Valley News Live Storm Team Weather app. You can download the latest version for free so that you don't miss important alerts. Just search VNL Weather in your app store. The Grand Forks Public Schools athletic director has confirmed with Valley News Live the Red River boys hockey coach, Bill Chase, was placed on indefinite administrative leave Tuesday morning before the game against West Fargo. Chase is still working with children at South Middle School in Grand Forks despite being put on leave. Mark Rarick, the athletic director, says he can't tell us why Chase was put on leave, but he says they made the best decision for the student athletes. An interim coach took the place of Chase during last night's game, leading the Rough Riders to a win.
I think everything's tough on kids. I think being a kid itself is tough, and you know, the adults in that world tend to make it tougher sometimes, and you know, and that's all the way around. So our kids have been pretty resilient. I think the response last night from our kids was pretty solid.
Rarick says the interim coach will be the Rough Riders head coach for the rest of the season. An inmate in the Burley Morton Detention Center is recovering after police say he was taken to the hospital twice on Saturday after slamming his head against the wall. 44-year-old Shane Doctor is being held at the jail on several counts, including terrorizing in connection with an 11-person hostage situation Thursday night in Bismarck. The jail director says Doctor was headbutting the wall twice over the weekend and has a large cut from his head to the bridge of his nose. The Fargo Police Department needs help identifying the two men you see pictured here. Police say the man in this picture is tied to a theft of wallet case. The other man is connected to a shoplifting case. If you know who they are, you're asked to call police at 241-1405. A Twin Cities hockey dad may face murder charges in a 25-year-old cold case. 52-year-old Jerry Westrom is accused of killing Jean Ann Childs in Minneapolis in 1993. Childs was 35 years old when she was found stabbed to death in her South Minneapolis apartment. Investigators used forensic DNA testing and an online genealogy website to identify Westrom's DNA, which matched DNA left at the crime scene.
So there's a difference between when you put your information into, say, Ancestry or 23andMe, and that data is kept secure. But there's these other databases like GEDmatch, which had been used in some of the previous investigations, and those are public databases. So you have to consent to put your information into that public database.
The Hennepin County Attorney's Office has been granted a 24-hour extension, meaning the office has until noon Thursday to officially charge Westrom with the murder of Childs. A 61-year-old man is dead after he was rear-ended on Highway 36 in Burleigh County. Troopers with the North Dakota State Patrol say the man was heading westbound in his Dodge Ram on Highway 36 when he was rear-ended by a 52-year-old man. The Dodge came to rest in the ditch, and the other vehicle ended up on the shoulder of the road. The driver of the Dodge died at the scene. The crash remains under investigation. The Minnesota State Patrol held its annual awards banquet that honors troopers and police officers from around the area. A trooper had responded to a man walking down the middle of a highway north of Moorhead, but the suspect wasn't cooperating. John Neurath risked his own life to help the officer who was struggling with the suspect before the man was arrested. State Trooper Mike Engum and Detroit Lakes Police Officer Joe Steffens are also being honored for saving a man after a car crashed into a water-filled ditch. They broke a car window, pulled the victim out, performed CPR, and used an AED to save his life. A House bill that would change the speed limit on multi-lane highways has failed in the North Dakota House by a vote of 46 to 46. House Bill 1264 would have shifted speed limits from 75 to 80 miles per hour on interstate highways and from 70 to 75 miles per hour on state and divided highways. Representative Ben Koppelman from West Fargo questioned the fiscal note attached to the bill, saying, "So I hope that, Mr. Chairman, we can find efficiency and find a way to do this without breaking the bank. And we don't have fiscal notes that are artificially high, you know, because somebody here may or may not want this bill to pass," said Koppelman. 48 votes are needed to pass a bill in the North Dakota House. West Fargo officials have named a principal for their new middle school. Today, Superintendent Beth Sleddy announced Dr. Aaron Spees has accepted the position as the principal for the district's new middle school. Officials say Dr. Spees started her career in education in 2006 as a language arts teacher at Washington High School in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. She began working with West Fargo Public Schools in 2010 after accepting a position as a school counselor at Cheyenne Ninth Grade Center. Rancher Kelly Schaff of Schaff's Angus Valley is a registered Angus seed stock ranch. He just sold one of his bulls for $1.5 million to Herbster Angus Farms in Nebraska. Schaff says it's humbling and one of the best things that has ever happened to his family's ranch. He also adds this bull, named America, has broken a world record and will most likely be a breeder bull.
This bull happened to have been produced from her very last embryo when she was nearly 18 years of age. And so he was the last embryo she produced, resulted in the greatest calf that she had ever had.
Schaff says his family is actively involved on the ranch and strives to breed the best quality Angus for ranchers all around the country. There are more than 350,000 sudden cardiac arrests in the U.S. every year, and many of them happen outside of the hospital. So if you're ever put in that situation, knowing CPR could potentially save someone's life. This Saturday, FM Ambulance will be doing CPR demonstrations at West Acres Mall, where you can learn the hands-only CPR method.
If you just want to know basic CPR, that's all you have to do is pump on the chest and push hard, push fast to the right rhythm, staying alive, and that's about it.
These demonstrations will take place outside of Macy's from noon to 5 p.m.